all of the black girls are sitting together. They might, I think, no, they were all at a table together. All of the girls, it wasn't even just the black girls. There was, like Hispanic and.
I think I broke it.
Oh boy.
Oh no, there you are. Okay, now you can wave. There we go.
The wheels have officially fallen off.
You have to do it the other way.
What do you mean? The way this is
You
you.
have to go up and down.
Oh, you have to do it up and down? Okay. There we go.
Matt's like, thank you for all of the editing that I'm about to have to do.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna leave it. Just kidding.
I would leave it. I mean, it's.
I'll clean some.
It's very natural.
Yeah.
It's all good. I mean, it's very us. This is very us. Anyways, yeah. So
love us.
you look up and that's what you see. I looked up. I was like, wow. Okay. And it was literally two tables. On the varsity, it was the white girls were at one, and the other girls, the girls of. I mean, it's not just black, like I said, but
Color.
yeah,
Mix.
Color, mix, whatever it was. They were at the other table, and the head coach looks at me and goes, "We got to fix that." And I'm like, "Good luck."
Well, and I would have to say that you go to what you're most comfortable with.
Right.
Right? And so most of the time, if you are around, like for myself, growing up, I grew up with a bunch of, all my friends were the old linemen, big white guys on the football team, right? 6'7", 6'6", blah, blah, and then there was me, 5'5", right? And so when I got to college, who did I first who did I first gravitate towards? The guys that I went to high school, guys that looked like who I went to high school with.
Remember I asked you that question. I was like, if you went into a house and there was a room full of white people and a room full of black people, who would you feel more comfortable with?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, the black people.
You would, that's not what you said?
Well, then I would have felt more comfortable with the white people because that's
Okay.
what I'm used to.
Okay.
Right? But now I feel more, I literally had to, especially coming from where I'm from, I had to search. I had to go out and, I had to break those stereotypes of what I saw on TV and what my perception of other, black guys my age were, because, I'm like, is there someone that's like me? Is there anyone that's like me? Like, is there people out there that don't want to, that's not looking to be like, in this, in that. I don't know if we can even say that. And I didn't want to say the N word.
Oh, you mean like what you'd see on
like BET or
Juice, those
Yeah,
movies,
yeah,
the
yeah,
90s movies,
Yeah,
Juice,
you
Boys
know.
in the Hood, all that.
Right.
The stereotype portrayal of the
the black guy.
Black
and
gangster.
that's what people thought, and that's what unfortunately, because I didn't want that. And I wanted people that were like me, but it was difficult to find people who were like me because I'm different, quote unquote. And as I get older, I'm not as different as I thought, because there's a lot of people, a lot of black people, a lot of Hispanic people who are like me, who are like, look, I'm just trying to work, trying to take care of my kids, blah, blah. I want a good life. I want to make sure that everybody's good. I want to go on vacations.
I feel like that's more than normal than people realize.
Right.
And that's the thing, because the stereotype you see on TV is completely different because it's entertaining.
Right.
So I think that it's more than norm that people are just people and they want to take care of their family by whatever means they want to take care of their family.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, I'll never stop feeling different.
But you are, because you're symmetrical.
Well, I am symmetrical. Me and my daughter are symmetrical, which is the same thing with Denzel Washington. So that's why everybody thinks that he's so hot. So I'm not saying everybody thinks I'm hot, but I don't understand why people say, oh, you're so pretty, but you don't wear any makeup, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, huh? But then I was told that I'm symmetrical, but that's a different conversation. So back to what he was saying, the first time I grew up afraid of black people, honestly.
Isn't that weird? Black people are afraid of black people.
Right, but I didn't even know. Like everybody around me was telling me how bad one side of me was.
Right.
So, and so what I saw was what you see on the movies. There is nowhere to go in Montana that you get culture.
Right.
Okay, so.
And then also at the same time, you're hearing on the news, especially with like the Clinton administration, the Reagan administration,
Right.
These thugs, these what is it? What was the
I forget what, I know what you're talking about, but I forget what it was.
super predators?
Yeah.
These super predators,
And all
these
these code
thugs,
words
these code
for black
words
people.
instead of just saying the N word. Hey, we can do all these code words, and so now, I mean, and that's the issue. That's the problem of, I mean, just being an African American male, female. You're going out just trying to live your life, just trying to do everything right, and then you have these nicknames that are given to you and that people run with, and then it's like, oh, hey, there's a black guy over there, he's a thug. No, man, just because my hat's to the right a little bit, because I like it that way, there's no thug in me, man. Here, I will help you with your groceries, I'll help you across the street. I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm not a thug, not even close to it. Now, if it's time to get down, then let's get down. But besides that, I don't want to fight you, and I don't want to. I'm too cute for jail.
Yeah. That wouldn't do
I do too many squats. I know for a fact my booty would be bootylicious. I mean, it would never happen, because any of y'all that ever goes, just as soon as that happens, if someone says, hey, I'm taking your male virginity, okay, meaning he's gonna sit his situation in your situation, what you do is you immediately have diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as that happens, I can promise you he'll punch you and he'll leave you alone.
So, okay, you just
I'm trying to help out.
all the way over there.
I'm trying to help out people. For females, I don't know what you can do. I mean, you can pee on them, I guess.
No, you just gotta run it.
Run it. But, I mean, there's a lot of brothers out there that are just way bigger than me. And so diarrhea.
I do have to tell you about, wow. I do have to tell you about the first time that I actually got submerged into...
Immersed?
Immersed? No, submerged.
Oh.
Like literally dipped into the black side of my family. It was at my brother's funeral.
Dipped in chocolate.
Yeah, well, it was at my brother's funeral, and it was the first time I had been out of the Pacific Northwest or Montana. Okay, and back then in Spokane, there, we didn't have a whole lot of family in town or anything like that, so, I just hadn't had any experiences. So we go to Jacksonville, Florida.
Population of black people more than Washington.
Oh, yeah, no, I was the minority by far.
You're always the minority.
Well, okay, my skin color was the minority. I mean, honestly, yeah, you're right, but I'm what they would call incognito.
You are the minority amongst the majority, but the minority you don't have a spot.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have a spot.
She's all mixed up.
I am all mixed up.
Oh, promo for ourselves. Keep going.
Mixed people matter. Yes, mixed people matter.
Yeah, you gotta pick a side.
No?
Yeah.
No, I find it very hard to pick a side.
Yeah, pick a
Anyways,
side.
so we went to this funeral and I met all of my cousins and uncles, aunts, whatnot. Well, let me tell you, the most uncomfortable feeling I've ever felt in my life was when my dad went to the church. He left me at the hotel with my aunts and cousins, who were all female. Okay, they're all female, and they were all big boned, women,
Thick,
thick women with very
rotund.
very long fingernails and hats and I mean weaves. It was just crazy.
They're the front row in the black church. They're the mothers of the church.
Yes, yes. Well, I found myself sitting on the floor in between two hotel beds that had what I think there was like 5 women on one side and 4 on the other.
And they were probably quiet.
Oh, yeah. They were very
No stereotypes there, right?
not quiet. But let me tell you, that was the most uncomfortable feeling I ever
Why?
had. Because you realize I was 15 years old?
You should have felt at home.
No, because I've never been around.
Oh, okay, that's it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? That doesn't make any sense. Like that's your food. But because of the fact you've never been around them,
Yeah.
and you don't know how to act. There's no natural.
There was no
Situ-
natural
yeah.
nothing.
But now I've seen you with your family members, and
Oh no, now it's good. But
Yeah.
I've had to make myself comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and I think I know that we've had family reunions before where we've had a couple of white spots around, and which is because we were all dark.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And then we had one uncle that married a Caucasian female, and then so she would bring her kids that weren't mixed at all, and they would literally huddle in the corner, and they're like, "Hi," and I'm like, "What's up, man?" And hey, it's okay, ain't nobody gonna, we're family. You're part of the family too. And they're like, all right, and then they'd leave for like 45 minutes, walk wherever, and I'm like, we're in Tacoma. Where are you going? Don't go too far. And then they'd walk back, and then I'm like, hey, they go hang out in the hotel. They just, it took a minute, but at the same time, we were trying.
They went and took some what are those called?
Prozac?
Sedatives.
Oh yeah, that if we had that back then. But I do know that it can be extremely uncomfortable, especially when like for myself being who I am and going into a new situation, let's say doing construction. Okay, construction, honestly, if you're a black guy and you're in construction, unless you're the boss, it's almost one of the worst things in the world because people say everything, they drop the N word like it's nothing, I end this up, I end that up, and I'm like, wait, that's a term? And they're like, oh, I didn't mean to say it. I'm like, whatever, dog, I know for a fact you meant to say it, you just didn't mean for me to hear it. Fess up to what you were, right? I'm not coming down on you, but at the same time, I'm not dumb. You're gonna say it, but you thought I didn't hear it, so therefore you thought you were good. Or it's so natural, so you just say it and you're like, oh, that's a black guy around. I can't do that. But it's, being in construction, it's very uncomfortable, and especially trying to, relate to people and trying to, be okay. And so I can understand how you felt, Snow, where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm around people who I don't really know. They're being loud and not loud, but they're being who they are.
No, they were being loud.
Yeah, so they're being loud, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, where do I fit in? And the great thing is that with your family, they're like, hey, you're one of us, and they you eventually figured it out. A lot of times, I know for myself, we never get to figure it out. You just, you say, okay, I'm not going to be around those people. I'm not going to hang out with those people. I'm done with those people. I do know, so I have a question. I have another question for you. Okay, so we're doing a lot with the process of different things. So we're coaches, and so and we have coached all ages of children.
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, that's not. I haven't done young.
what's young?
Like
Like my kids young?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a story and a half. So with that said, tell me what is the process of coaching or being involved with your own kids and their teams? You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of times you get these super dads or these super moms, and they make these AU teams, and they're like, okay, my kid's gonna be the star, and so their whole goal is to make their kid the star. But I know that's not what we do. You know,
they build their team around their
they build a team around. So how do you, if you're gonna start a basketball team? She loves basketball, and I'm not gonna lie, she's an amazing basketball coach. Okay, Shado Park is lucky to have her, and y'all need me too. If you had me, y'all would be winning some more. That's okay.
That is true. We
Yeah,
should probably get him in there somewhere.
But okay. So with that said, and y'all need me on the football team because y'all would be definitely winning some more. I'm just gonna and the track team. Just put me in there in general. Just get me in charge. So but with that said,
Interview over.
yeah, and drop the mic and I'm done. So with that said, what's the process or what's the thought process of keeping the team a team, right? If you're coaching or if you're getting involved, how do you keep a team and not make it about your kid? Or if you have a superstar, okay, Joy's very blessed. She has a very talented basketball player, and he keeps saying, you guys need to put together a team, and but he also understands that the focus isn't him, but he's obviously a focus. So how do you do that? Like, how do you still make sure that he's developing, but making sure everybody else is like, what do you do?
That is a question that I have an answer for, but I have no answer for it.
Okay, so let's go with the answer for part.
It's very tricky.
Okay.
It's very tricky. I mean, I started out, 15 some years ago, coaching my oldest son. And after that experience, I actually said, I'm not coaching my own kids anymore.
Right.
Just because.
Was the experience that bad, or?
It was and it wasn't. In the respect that he learned what I wanted him to learn from me.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, but you make one wrong step to the left, one wrong step to the right, and you have parents looking at you weird. You have the kids wanting to, they want to take it out on your kid because they feel like you're being favoritism, or on the flip side, too hard on them.
Oh yeah.
And that's more I see of the dads that are too hard on their sons.
They're trying to live through their kid.
Mm-hmm. So I had to pretty much adjust on the fly. Like literally, the first 10 years. Well, no, not 10. Probably 5-6 years of coaching was literally observation.
Mm-hmm.
It was observing how people react to each other, to the coaches kids, to the kids and the coach's kid.
And you were coaching boys.
I was coaching boys at that time.
Obviously major difference than coaching girls.
Yes. So with the boys, even my son started to get jealous of the other boys in about 7th, 8th grade, because there comes a point where those boys start to look at you not as coach, but as mom.
Right.
So
which every every boy does.
Right.
I mean, all my friends' moms, they're still mom.
Yeah.
They're yes, you're my kid, and they still do that today.
There's such a transition that happens with kids, especially boys, and that's why I say it's easier to coach girls than boys for me, because there's less emotional attachment from girls than there is from boys.
Does that even make any sense? There's less emotional attachment.
Well, because like I said, at some point the boys are like, mama,
less emotional attachment.
We aren't talking about girlfriends, we're talking about mama.
Attachment.
That
doesn't even.
No, it's
There's
true.
no way.
It's
There's no
true.
way. There's no. I'm not gonna.
I still have boys. I still have those same boys from 15 years ago that will come into my house that will.
Maybe it's you who's emotionally attached.
No, I know that's very true. That is true. It's a two-way street.
It is a two-way. I see it because I know my best friend growing up, his mom. I look at her as my mom, right? And she came to everything. And when I was in middle school and the football coach said that he didn't think that I had the ability to score a touchdown, and then when I got the ball the first time and I scored a touchdown, I mean, she jumped out, and she's like, "You said he couldn't score a touchdown? Yeah, he could score a touchdown. You go, Josh." She was just all up in this little blonde-haired white lady just, right? And my mom's just, my mom's doing her mom thing. So there's, everybody's attacking. But when you see that, and you see that person or that mom or that adult figure that has your back, that attachment, there is a more of emotional attachment. You feel more comfortable, and you look at them not as, hey, this is coach. You look at them more of a mother, father figure. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it is. And it's also hard with girls. I have not coached my own daughter, but I have 3 boys and 1 girl. Low key, high key, whatever it is, that girl scares the crap out of me. She's gonna be my challenge.
Low key.
Low key. Anyways,
we're gonna keep that low key. Is that the same thing as DL? We're gonna keep that on the DL.
Yeah, pretty much on the DL.
But low key, if you keep it low key, if it's the same thing as DL, I don't want to tell you about it.
No, but that's why you're saying it DL. Then nobody else says anything about it.
Oh,
Never mind, we're on camera. Live, but still, it doesn't matter. It's still on the DL, low key.
But again, if it's on the DL, like, hey, look, dog, we're gonna keep that on the DL.
Right, so secret.
So, look, dog, we're gonna keep it on the low key. That's too much.
No, you don't say dog first. You just say low key.
Okay.
I've heard people like my son, low key, my ankle hurts. Why is that low key?
On high key.
But anyways.
Kia. Hiya. Whoa. Who? Wax on. Wax off. Wax on. I have a hurt ankle. Wax off. I have no. I'm just trying to fit in. I want to be here.
That's how you fit in?
I'm trying to figure. I still don't understand the whole low key and the what's the other things they say?
No cap.
No cap.
Which don't make no sense.
No cap.
I know for a fact that back in the day when we were like, hey, dog, that's ill, right? That's ill. Okay, that makes sense. That's ill.
Look,
that's dope.
Sense, or
that's dope.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
dope.
Dope.
Yeah, that's
that
fresh.
Definitely makes sense.
Look, dog, that's stupid.
Or you're a whole snack.
She tried to make that for her daughter.
I did not try to make it for my daughter. I tried to make you freak out.
Yeah, she tried to make a shirt that said that I'm a whole snack.
No, it said whole snack market.
Yeah, and
I like it.
Yeah, not for a 13-year-old.
Oh, no.
No,
okay, tell me that part.
Yeah, if I saw a 25 and above walking around with I'm a whole snack, but yes, you are. But a 13-year-old, that's not going to work.
No, and I did it on purpose so that he would be like, what are you doing?
Not going down.
And he sure as heck did that. But
not going down.
Yeah, so anyways, I totally forgot what you were asking me a question about coaching and
how do you keep everything?
And honestly, there is no answer. It's just different hats all the time.
So I know, like, for me, obviously my kids are not 30 years old like Snow is.
Okay, what?
Aren't they 30?
No.
Oh, how old are they?
40?
Close to it, I thought.
All right.
Just chiming in. No, they're 20, 22, 27. No, 22. How old is he?
21.
No, he's like 25.
He's not.
I just saw him today.
No, wait, maybe he turned 22. Wait,
see, you don't even know their own child's birthday. The point is...
No, 21. 21.
So, with that said, I have... my kids are little, and so I coach them, and when I'm coaching them, I'm not hard on them when it comes to them and their skills. I'm hard on them when it comes to them and listening. right? My son Josiah and my daughter Vivian, they're extremely athletic. Like they are athletic, which is great. And the only time I get down on them is when they don't listen. Like when I say, "Hey, you need to stay in line," and they're doing their 3-4-year-old thing at the time, and they're moving around way too much. That's when I'm like, "Hey, no."
But is that because?
Because I have an expectation.
That's what. Is that expectation because they're your children and you want them to set the example?
Yeah. No. They need to set the example of acting correctly. They don't have to set the example of being the best, which they better be. But the point is that they need to act right.
But let me tell you what that evolves into.
Not getting a spanking.
No. So as they get older, see, my kids are 22, 16, 13, and 4. Yours are all 5 and under.
Right.
Okay. So as you start, you're coaching them as they get older, that expectation of the basic listening turns into, you try to not let it turn into, you have to be mindful of it not to turn into, my kid knows what he's doing, so I'm going to put my kid in, I'm going to have my kid do this because the expectation he knows already.
So with that, and that makes sense. So what I have done, one, when I coach, I have what we call keys to success. And so what that means is that there are certain expectations that I have everybody to do. And so if you can't do those expectations, you're not going to play. So it's correctly and they do what they're supposed to do. If you can't, you're not going to play. Like when we did the basketball stuff with my daughter, she wasn't very good, right? That she was good, like aggressive, but she couldn't shoot. With that said, did she still play? Yes. But did she start? No. Again, they were 4.
Right. And I think that, this is a conversation for next time, so we have to wrap it up, but I think that if we revisit the same thing in about 10 years, if you were still coaching your kids, that you would have a little bit of a different outlook on it, on how tough it actually is. But like I said, different conversation, different day.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys for listening. And you guys can see us on any podcast stations. You guys can look at us live. We do training, we do shirts, we do a little bit of everything. We're all mixed up.
Facebook, YouTube, afitlife.com. That's our YouTube address. Go subscribe at the podcast addresses, major podcast platforms. Let us know what you think if you want to hear something. Anything you got, we love feedback.
Alrighty.
Good job, guys. That was fun. You guys are funny.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that, we're coming here and we're like, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, well, we can't talk about this. We can't talk about that. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch that. And we get here and it's like, oh,